Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, can I go over a story titled, I'm So Devastated Right Now. And guys, this story is all about a guy. It sounds like he's probably at least mid-40s or so. Been married to his wife for 16 years. They got 2 kids, a 14-year-old girl, 12-year-old boy. And it sounds like in the beginning they had a good marriage, and then things started changing with her. And there's no other way to put it. She just became a really giant, miserable bitch. And unfortunately, you're going to see this guy just puts up with it. He tries to be the doting, loyal husband. Like, the more miserable she is, the better he tries to treat her, and he just gets from nowhere. And eventually, he finds out she's cheating. And as you can imagine, goes through a lot of heartache, but eventually, they're done. And you're going to see this story, guys, this whole circus that he goes through. But in the end, guess who's doing great? He is. And guess who's doing not so great? Her. And I'd be very going to go over here, guys. One, a success story, but also to show you where the guy definitely went wrong, in my opinion. Where you could see that she was treating him like crap. And instead of calling her on it and putting her in her place, he put up with it. And also how he gives her reassurance, like, I'm not going anywhere. I'll never divorce you. The dumbest thing to say to somebody that treats you like crap. All these things. Because it's very important, guys, understand, relationship guys, you can't let your girl, your wife, know that no matter what she does, treating you like dog crap, you're never going anywhere. Because that's going to make her lose more respect for you and treat you worse. A woman has to know that if she is an a-hole to her guy, disrespects him, any number of negative things, he's out of there. Otherwise, she'll never love you. Women will not love a guy they don't respect. Their version of love. And it's so important to understand how a guy, there's a point he has to walk away. And also, you're going to see this is the type of guy that every guy want to be friends with, nice guy and everything, but you're going to see he's too nice, and to the point that doesn't help his case. He's definitely a giver, and she's a taker. So lots of lessons here. This will end up with him doing very well after going through hardships, and her, very deservingly, her life is dog crap. A little longer, guys, but so I'll get right to the point. It says here, I don't even know where to start. This is a long story. The only reason I ever found this sub is because it's been trapped in my head all day, and I haven't been able to speak to anyone about it, so please be kind. So I've been married for 16 and a half years with my wife, 21. We've had ups and downs. When I met her, she was the nicest, kindest woman I ever met. Well, you certainly have been not the best judge of character, my man. I literally told her she was going to be my wife 2 minutes after meeting her. Smack! Way to put her on the pedestal, my friend. That's not a good way to start. She's like, okay, I got this nice guy. I got the nice guy I get to settle with. I never have to suck his you-know-what because he wants to marry me 2 minutes after meeting me. We have 2 kids that are my entire world. After her second child, she started to get distant, depressed, and different. I thought she was struggling with depression, but she refused to look into it. She wanted couples counseling, but this was during the recession, and I was working 4 jobs and a side business just to barely make it every month. I couldn't afford another $50 a week, especially when she wouldn't talk to me. I asked her what was wrong, and she said, always, I don't know. He's working 4 jobs and a side hustle. This is a guy really trying to be a good provider. This should be a dream husband for anybody. But she'd have good weeks and bad weeks. Sometimes she'd be great, others she'd be mean and disrespectful. Yeah, obviously she's got some major problems, but also I'm sure it doesn't help that she knows this guy's Mr. Nice Guy, and he's busting his butt and probably never calling her on it. Once we were back on our feet, I begged her to go to counseling with me. Smack! You never beg. No man ever begs anyone. What he should have done is said, there's a problem here. We need to work on this. And I'm setting the appointment, and I expect you to be there because our marriage hangs in the balance. End of story. No questions. She eventually said, okay, but I don't think she liked it. We went to a woman that I thought was going to just tell me that it was I who was doing everything wrong and needed to do better. She didn't. At all. At first she said the same old thing that I did. I can't work with what I don't know. So my wife said that she needed more help around the house. Cool. This is 2015. Hang on here. This guy's working 4 jobs with an additional side hustle to really make ends meet for the family. And she needs help around the house. Are you shitting me? What's she doing all freaking day? Okay? No. you're working 4 part-time jobs. She can find a way to make that stuff work. The problem is, you're going to see Mr. Nice Guy here, what he does. Since then, I've worked 3 jobs: vacuum the house, empty the dishwasher and sink daily, help with the laundry, take out the trash, and straighten up the house. Things were good for a bit. Smack! No, you're just enabling her behavior. Okay, what is she doing all day? She's obviously not working. I haven't heard anything about her having a job. Then she got mean again. Oh, shocker. This time she started snapping at my daughter a lot. Finally, I pulled her aside and told her that I would never divorce her. Smack! She's been treating you like crap for years, and she's being an a-hole to your daughter, and you pull her aside, and instead of checking her, you say, I'll never divorce you. She's probably like, what? Okay, I'll just be an even bigger a-hole. Let's see if that will get you to change your mind. That I would try to work and make our marriage better for the both of us as long as it took. How about she works hard to make the marriage work, not the other way around, dude? You see what I'm talking about with Mr. Nice Guy here? She's an a-hole, and we can all agree on that, but this guy is not helping his situation. But I think it's because my daughter is so much like me, she was taking her venom out on her. And I can't allow that. So she wanted a divorce, that's what we do. The next day she said she wanted to try and make it work. And for a few years, things were good. She went to the doctor and got prescribed an antidepressant, but insisted on the lowest dosage. Fast forward to 2020 and went right back to her meanness and disrespect, but worse. There was total disdain in her voice whenever she spoke to me, and a look of disgust whenever I showed up somewhere. It hurt. SCX was never a problem with us, and we both seemed to really enjoy each other's company, but when she'd get in these moods, she would withhold. Well, if she's being this way, why would you want to tap that anyway? Seriously. But again, you see how she's treating him. And remember the whole, I'm not going anywhere, I won't divorce you, that type of thing? Now, obviously, he's doing this for his kids, and I respect the guy. I get a father who doesn't want to make things crazy for the kids and all divorce and everything, but there's a point just, he can't take the disrespect. The kids can't be in a household with someone like this. She's obviously got some aside from her just being a bitch, she's also got issues. And it's not past for her, but it is what it is. Anyway, he says here, still, I never cheat on her, even though as a bartender, I had many, many offers. At one point, my sister told me that she just assumed I'd been cheating because she knew my wife wasn't putting out for so long. I told her I'd never do that. How's this guy's sister know that he's not getting any from his wife? Wait, really? Is he talking about that? So now here we are. Last month after the wedding, we were at a hotel, and I was hoping to fool around when she told me flat out, I don't want you. I think we should get divorced. We agreed to do it, but hold off until the holidays for the kids. She fell asleep 10 minutes later. I laid in bed in tears, pouring down my face for 3 hours. I thought it was going to be the most pain I ever felt. I don't know about you guys, but I think this guy should have been doing cartwheels. Finally being free of this miserable B.I.T. But something tells me, because this is, remember, he said he met her for 2 minutes and said, you're going to be my wife. Obviously, this guy doesn't have exactly a ladies' man, at least prior to meeting her. And he's got this emotional attachment to her. Maybe it's because she's the mother of his kids. I don't know what. But just, he should be thrilled it's over. He can start over. Obviously, other women like him. Then there's today. A week ago, she had to go to a party for my daughter's softball team. At midnight, she wasn't home, so I checked our Life 360 app, and she was at an Applebee's. Weird, but I thought she met her friend for a drink afterwards. Thing is, she was there until 1 o'clock in the morning, but they closed at 12. I asked where she went, and she said at some bar with the people from the party. Never said Applebee's, which was odd. 2 days later, she said her boss told her that she had put a password on her phone because of work emails. Now I was suspicious. Today her mom called and asked if I could help her husband move a rug. So I went to help. When I was done, I'm standing outside and looked on the Life 360 app to see if she had left work. She had. So I decided to try something. My wife has a bad habit of needing to talk on the phone when she drives, so I called her. She was short with me and said she had to go because she was talking to her mom, who was standing right in front of me. Okay, I went home. When she got there, I asked her how her mom was and if she told her that I had seen her today. She said she hadn't and asked where I saw her, and I said at her house, when I called you. Her face dropped. She tried some half-assed excuses, but finally admitted she'd been seeing someone. There you go. Applebee's, huh? for a few months so before we agreed to the divorce. I was shell-shocked. 10 minutes later, she was acting like nothing happened. Of course she's acting like nothing happened because she doesn't give a shit. She doesn't love you. She doesn't give a shit about you. It's been that way for years. And he said after the second child was born, that's when this really started. So his second child's like 12 years old. So for 12 years, he's been dealing with this miserable shit. I mean, I know there are guys watching this that have been in miserable marriages and they stayed in it for the kids and all, but in my opinion, and I know I'm not a father, so I don't get it all, life's too goddamn short. But of course she's cheating. And the fact that he's surprised at this shows how naive this guy is. I don't know if I don't know. Let me read. Hang on. I don't know if it was to not tip off the kids or because she just doesn't care that she crushed me, but I suspect the latter. I couldn't even talk to anyone about it as we kept it a secret and we agreed to divorce so nobody slipped to my kids. And we go to the Christmas village tonight, so we're all out all night. My kids knew something was wrong with me, but just thought I was in a bad mood. My son Lily said, "You sound hurt." Something tells me this guy is not very good at hiding his emotions or feelings, while the wife is fantastic at hiding shit. I just don't know what I'm going to do. The prospect of divorce was already stressful enough. I've lost 20 pounds in the past month while even trying to just figure out how we can do this without me losing the house. I spent the last 15 years paying off her $10,000 in credit card debt, $15,000 in student loans, and a $45,000 car. Remember, this is the guy that's always had multiple jobs. What about her job? Now I'm going to owe her at least $40,000 for the house. It's going to be painful, but I think I can do it. I was finally starting to mentally prepare myself for the divorce, and this betrayal just hit me like a ton of bricks. Well, given her actions, you can't be that surprised that she's cheating on you. And now one has to say, shit, are those kids mine? I mean, it's a very valid question after all this. And yeah, he spent all that money on her over the years, busting his ass and having to come home and vacuum and dishes and all that bullshit, even though he's working 3 or 4 jobs depending on the time period. Yeah, this is what happens when guys are too nice, too accommodating, too giving, when they're with a taker. Now, she's an a-hole, but he has some responsibility in this by staying with her and not laying down the law. You know, a guy has to be accountable, just like a woman has to be accountable. In the last month, she hurt me more than I ever thought possible. I don't even recognize the woman I married anymore. I think this is who she was all along, to be honest, but he was so just in the honeymoon phase and just imagine all the great things that could happen in their relationship that he didn't want to see who she really was early on. Or she bait and switched him and he was eager to go along with it. I don't even know what to do. My daughter's going to be heartbroken when we tell her we're splitting up, but I don't even know if I should tell her about this because I don't want her hating her mom. I'm lost, confused, stressed beyond belief, and heartbroken, and I look at my wife and she looks like she could care less. Because she could care less. And yeah, you don't want to hurt the kids, but I would be very honest with your kids because they're 12 and 14. They're old enough to know what's going on because you can guarantee you she's going to put shit in their heads to turn against you. Thank you all for listening. I don't even know what I wrote is allowed or too much off topic, but either way, I thank you because it was very therapeutic just to get it off my chest. Even if I'm typing this with more tears streaming down my face, thank you very much. That's the end of part 1. Now I'm going to go on to part 2, then part 3. And I gotta say, he mentioned how writing this down is therapy to him. A lot of guys say when they write me in the other channel, Strong Successful Male, and you should all join if you haven't, they tell me their personal stories. It really is helpful and they feel better to get it out there and get off their chest and everything. So I encourage all you guys, you got a story to share, email me. Now to part 2. It says here, so it's been 3 months for my initial post and it's been quite a trip. Please excuse the length of this post, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, a week after my post, I found the guy's name when she was sending a Facebook message on her computer. Apparently that's their sole way of communicating. Most likely because he's married with 3 kids. Of course the guy, Mr. Applebee's, is married with 3 kids, is cheating on his wife and with her. He's also a doctor and a rich. The one was a real punch in the gut to a guy working 3 jobs to survive. On Christmas, I found out that she had told her whole family that we were divorcing, along with my sister and my cousin's wife. Meanwhile, I still had told nobody out of fear of it getting back to my kids before the holidays was over. Her mom was not happy. Thought she was making the biggest mistake of her life. Yeah, she was. Or is. Same with my sister and her best friend. She didn't care. She also left out the part about her cheating, of course. Of course she left out the part about cheating because I would make her look bad. I couldn't talk to her mom at Christmas because she already started to cry, and I didn't want to tip off my kids. So I set up to talk with her a few days later. The next day, my wife and I sat down and talked. I told her I didn't want to see her seeing the guy again until everything was done. Really? You really think you're going to get her to listen to you after all these years of her being the way she is and her knowing you inside and out that she's actually going to agree not to see her lover until you're divorced? Come on, dude. It was disrespectful to me, and if she wanted a divorce as friends, she doesn't treat a friend like that. Divorce as friends, really? I can see the strategy of trying to have an amicable divorce to make it as easy as possible and get the best terms, but there's no way you're going to part ways being a friend. Why would you want to be friends with her who did this to you and treated you like this all these years? You're out of your damn mind, Mr. Nice Guy. She agreed. Sure. Then we discussed how we split things up. I think I did okay. No alimony, no child support, 50-50 custody. We both supply clothes for the kids. Everything else gets split equally. I'm keeping the house. I have to pay her $43,000 in equity. In the end, she walked away about $40,000. She owes her dad $10,000, an 800 credit score, and zero debt. All thanks to me. Well, I don't know how he pulled it off, but if he didn't have to pay alimony or child support, he's keeping the house, paying her $40-something thousand for the equity in it. Obviously, he lives in a place where housing isn't super expensive. All things considered, this is pretty good. And he's in his 40s. He can start over, which you will see at the end of the story. When I finally went to speak with her mom, I found that when she found out we were going to talk, she came clean to her. She originally lied about the cheating when her mom asked, and then told her the truth afterwards. My mother-in-law was furious, really ripped into her, then cried to me that she was scared I was going to cut her out of my life, which I assured her it would never happen. I'm assuming he means the mother-in-law, cutting the mother-in-law out of his life. If she's been great to him, then, hey, she's the kid's grandma. Fast forward to mid-January, now I'm down 40 pounds. I'm going to the gym every day to relieve stress. Well, that's good. He'll feel a lot better working out and losing weight and getting healthier. Now we have to tell my kids. I told her I wouldn't lie to the kids, but I wasn't going to just sit the one out either. I said if they'd ask, I'd try to steer the conversation a different way. She said she felt the same way. The thing is, I knew this wouldn't fly with my daughter. She's like a 14-year-old clone of me. She can spot BS a mile away. Dude, no, you can't. No, you can't spot BS a mile away. You know why? Because your whole freaking marriage bullshit's been going on, and you just put up with it, or just naively believed everything was okay or whatever. Come on here. Wait till you see how his daughter reacts. That's what happened. Before we even said anything, my daughter asked if we were getting divorced when we sat them down. My wife said yes, and my kids lost it. Lots of crying. I saw them crying, and I started crying. Then my wife made a big mistake. She said, listen, we both want this. And that's when my daughter let her have it with everything she had. She screamed, that's bullshit. My father would never want this. You want this. Look at him. He's crying. I've never seen him cry in my life. This is you. Then she asked if my wife was cheating on me. My wife tried to change the subject, but she wasn't having it. She grilled her while screaming, tell me the truth. Over and over until my wife fessed up. After that, it was like I could see her brain moving. She started calling out every red flag over and over again and made my wife confess it. In 3 minutes, she got more out of her than I did in an entire month. So your daughter doesn't take after you. This daughter of his could be a freaking prosecutor one day, or just any kind of attorney. Yeah, his 14-year-old daughter has bigger brains than this guy has, and balls. Afterwards, I spoke to my kids alone. My son is 12 and just needed reassurance that things are going to be okay and would change as little as possible. Although now I can see he's dreading when things finally finish. My daughter told me she was crying for me, not her, because of how hurt I had to be. It's pretty cool how daughters will often, in situations like this, really take the side of their dads. Not always, but a lot of times in these stories. And they become ruthless with their mothers when they know their mothers screwed everything up. I comforted her and made her feel better. Then she asked me to make her a promise. Because I've never broken a promise to my kids, she asked me to promise if when this is all over, if my wife loses her new house and needs a place to stay for a while, I would let her stay here. Not happening. She can go stay with her parents' daughter. All this shit going on, she could have asked for anything, and she looked out for her mom. I couldn't say no, and when she talked to her mom, she asked her to promise to stop talking to the guy. The mom broke that promise after 2 weeks. Of course she did. We all knew darn well the mother wasn't going to stop sleeping with the doctor. Since then, she started sneaking around again and seeing him for half-hour stints at places like Target. What is it with these places? Target, Applebee's, are they like hooking up in the bathroom or something? I caught her again, and we had a blowout. And again, she agreed to stop seeing him, even though she still talks to him. Apparently, she has feelings for him now. Hey, like I said, she can't bullshit my daughter, so eventually she'll know she'll break that promise. There's no need for me to tell her. Good point. Very good point. Right now I'm in the process of refinancing my house, and she's looking for a house of her own. She got her rich aunt to co-sign for her, so hopefully she'll find something soon. Also, one other thing, and I know this one is going to be controversial in the sub. Yes, I have proof, and yes, I know everything about this guy. But I decided not to tell his wife. I'm not proud to say it, but my motives are completely selfish and self-serving. So when I first read this, and I'm thinking he's not telling this dude's wife, is he out of his freaking mind? Well, you'll see in a minute why he does this, and I actually get it. The fact is, if I tell her, this guy's wife, they will get divorced, and then when my wife leaves, she'll have a ready-made relationship waiting for her. A rich guy who even after divorce will still be rich, taking her on expensive dates and nice vacations, helping her with her bills, etc., while I struggle. As much as I want to hurt this guy, I want her to hurt her more. And when she leaves, her sneaking around is over, but his isn't. They won't be able to go out on dates. She'll get to see this guy as much of a side piece as she really is. They'll only be able to meet at her house, and he'll have to leave as soon as he's finished. He won't be giving her any money because it could tip off his wife. And now that she has feeling for him, she'll see if he's going to leave his wife and family for her. There's no way this doctor guy, is going to leave his wife and family for her, unless he's caught. I'm betting he won't. But if he does, fine. But he's going to have to be the one to have the balls to do it. I'm not going to do his dirty work for him. That's what happened with her rich aunt. Her rich aunt effed a married man, then the wife found out and left, and she moved right in with him. Went from being a broke single mom to a millionaire. That might happen with my wife, but I'm not going to help make that happen. So I get where he's coming from there, but still, that guy's wife does deserve to know. But anyhow, thank you for reading. I still read this sub from time to time. It's been extremely therapeutic. And please try to be nice. I know everyone won't agree with everything in this post. Just please try to understand that every situation is different. Thank you. Every situation is different, but every situation also is very similar. And these stories are similar, and the way the women behave are similar, the way the guys behave, acting too nice, too easy, too accommodating, all that. And I know he's doing this to protect his kids. That's a lot here, but there's a point. You got to take care of you, and the kids will be fine. Now we're going to go on to part 3. You're going to see where he's now divorced, and he's doing great. And his wife, well, it's not so great. This is final update. So the divorce finalized this past August. This was written a while ago. I promised my kids their lives would change as little as possible, and I've kept that promise. In August, we finalized the divorce. She was looking for houses while living here. She got outbid 16 times. I found a house around the corner from me that she loved. I spoke to the owner, and he basically let her have it without taking any other bids. She never would have gotten the house without me, which makes me feel good, as my kids are now never more than 30 seconds away from me. Well, that's nice. His kids aren't too far away, but I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want an ex-wife anywhere near my freaking neighborhood, at least 20 minutes away, but whatever. Our divorce agreement worked out great for me. No alimony, no child support, 50-50 custody. Hey, there you go. I kept the house and paid her the equity. I was able to refinance before interest rates took off. So I guess, this was probably last August this was done. The next few months, I basically refurnished my house after splitting the furniture. Changed some stuff around, changed pictures, focused on that and my kids. Stayed positive. I kept going to the gym and working. It's been good. I've been friendly with her throughout, which puts my kids at ease and helped them get used to everything. She even came to Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve at my sister's house. What? That's too much. Okay, she's your ex-freaking wife. Everybody knows why she's the ex-wife here. You can be friendly and all for the kids, but having her come over to your family's Thanksgiving and all, no. People think I'm crazy. Yeah, I'm one of them. But I will let it go. I will let go of the ill will and help my kids celebrate the holidays normally, and that makes me happy. Financially, I've been doing great. Awesome. Well, I'm not sure, but I think she's struggling. She has never been the best at budgeting money. We're supposed to split everything the kids need outside of food and clothes, but I wind up paying for more than I should, which I don't mind because I know it's going to the kids. Smack! Mr. Nice Guy again. Yes, it's going to the kids, but then you might as well just be paying her alimony and child support, and that was part of the deal, you not having to pay that stuff. No, you call her on her shit, and she's going to pay her due with the kids' clothes and school supplies and things like that. I'm happy this guy's gotten through this, and I'm happy he's moved on, but still, don't be that guy. People always say, I want to be the better person. Well, when people usually say, I'm going to be the better person, usually means they're getting fucked over some way, and then they don't have the strength to, stand up for themselves. In December, I met a beautiful, wonderful woman. Going a little too quick, my man. I'm glad you met a gal and she likes you, but let's take it easy. She lives about an hour away and is divorced with 2 kids. Oh, great, a single mom. Because of the custody schedule, we only get to see each other a few times a month, but she's amazing and really makes me happy. I don't know what my ex's dating life is like. I don't know if she still sees that guy or not. I know she's hooked up with a couple other people, but I don't ask about it. So she's becoming a regular side piece to many different dudes. I know one night she went out with a guy 3 weeks after she moved out, and she got jumped by 4 girls and had the crap beaten out of her, which I'm not gonna lie, made me laugh. There you go. She had it coming. As far as the guy she was cheating on me with, well, we have some mutual friends that I've told. A couple I'm friends with saw him with his family at a function and started having a conversation in front of them when they mentioned my name and that I had found that my wife was cheating on me. They said I knew who the guy was but hadn't done anything about it. Then they started saying stuff like, man, if he decides to go after him, they won't find that guy's body for 50 years. And shit like that. Just laughing and watching him sweat without letting him know that it was him. I don't think my ex ever told him that I knew about the affair, so that was probably a nice surprise for him. I'm sure I'll run into him eventually, not sure how that'll play out, but I'm not going out and seeking it. As much as that affair partner to the doctor deserves an ass whipping, something tells me this guy's not going to do that, and I wouldn't be too fearful of this particular guy. But you never know. Any guy on any day could just go off and Bruce Lee somebody's ass. You never know. So basically, 16 months after D-Day, I've got a new girlfriend, a great relationship with my kids, a happy work life, and I'm in great shape physically, and I'm doing great financially. Awesome. Just take your time with this chick you're dating. You just got divorced. It's like the saying from Godfather Part 2 when Michael Corleone said to his sister, the ink is barely drying your divorce papers and you're already with some other guy. This guy needs to take his time here. And he's with a single MOM, so that's another thing. But aside from that, no alimony, no child support, got the house, lost 40 pounds, doing better. Good. That's great to hear. I don't think it could have worked out for me any better. So if anybody's going to go through it now and needs some advice, here's what I would say. This guy's going to give advice. Well, I'll let him give his advice and I'll give my advice. He says, stay positive. Don't let the resentment and negative feelings take control of your life. Okay. If you don't have a lot of money, try to sit down and work out a deal with your spouse without lawyers. This way, you'll actually have some money to walk away with. Easier said than done, amigo. 3, if you have kids, try to maintain an amicable relationship with your spouse. I know how hard this is, but you're doing it for your children, not for them. I agree, do your best to be amicable and get along. However, if she's being an a-hole to you, well, get the point. 4, exercise is a great way to distress. Find a gym and start going. It'll help your mental health as well as your physical health. 100% agree. 5, remember that every situation is different. Find the path that works best for your situation. I agree with that, but don't be a bitch pushover. Number 6, when they are gone, remember they are gone. They aren't coming back to you. And if they do, it's probably not for your best interest. The trust is gone forever. So move on and find someone that deserves you. If you're not the kind of person that meets people in the world often, try a dating app like Bumble. They work. Newsflash, dating apps aren't exactly work too well. Unless you are in the very top percentage of guys in terms of looks, status, money, job, all that, you're pretty much invisible. You can try, but good luck. I know this update isn't as satisfying as some would like, but it's really worked out for me and my kids, and that's all I really wanted. So yeah, I'm a lot happier now that I was after the first post. And I think that's the goal of this sub in the end. So thanks for all the kind words and support. It helped a lot. Well, he's happy, I'm happy. But I want this guy needs to learn where he went wrong on so many levels. And I said throughout the story, again, real quick, in the beginning, he's met her 2 minutes. Oh, you're going to be my wife. Well, that's a bad fucking idea because you don't even know anything about her. It shows that he's in a rush to get married. It shows her like, oh, this guy's easy. He's immediately going to put me on a pedestal. And I guarantee you he never got the amount of, let's just say, frisky loving that a lot of the other guys got because she knew instantly she had him. Bad place to be. She treated him like shit. This guy was working 4 jobs at one point, and still she was miserable, complained that she needed help around the house. 4 jobs, kids, and he's doing dishes and laundry and vacuuming all that. No, I never heard anything about her having a job. So he's playing the Mr. Nice Guy trying to appease her. Then giving her all this certainty that he's not going anywhere no matter what. When you tell someone like that treats you like crap, that's going to make them even less respect for you. Women have to know that they push you too far, disrespect, bad behavior, whatever, you're out of there. They must know this. If they don't, if women had that certainty that you're not going anywhere, the common theme I've seen over and over and over again through stories and things I've known in my own personal experience, it's a bad place to be. It's unfortunate. You don't want someone that you care about to have a little fear in them that you're going to be gone, but it is what it is. And then all this nice guy shit he's been letting her get away with, But when women don't respect guys, that's it. They treat them like shit. That's why one of the many reasons women chase after the bad boys is that bad boys don't take their shit. They know those bad boys drop them like that. And women at least respect them on that level. They're not going to tolerate their bullshit. I've never met any girl in my life that said they were attracted to a guy that was weak, that they were hot for a guy that would put up with their crap. I've known women flat out say how they've broken up with this guy or that guy or lose respect for different guys they once liked because they then learned how much of a weak bitch he was. This has happened, and this is what happened. And if this guy doesn't learn from his mistakes, the next relationship he gets in, the same freaking thing will happen. But at the moment, he's doing better, and relationship with the kids are good, and I want those kids to be okay. So that's good. So hopefully he learns. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me just think about this. And guys, you come across a good story like to share, by all means, email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just be sure to give me some time to do it. I definitely will, but it's a good one. Be sure to include the link to the Reddit story. That's key. Sometimes dudes will email me and say, SSM, got a great story for you. And I'll be like, thank you. But where's the link? So make sure you include the link. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.